Lex, last week when I guess somebody thought that we were trying to make them pay for this book, The Forbidden Secrets of the Goodie Box.
Yes.
And you cleared it up so eloquently.
Yes, I did.
And, it was like almost 100 people went out and downloaded this thing, which is amazing.
All right.
And so if those of you who are watching, if you downloaded it for free, if you could attest to that, and if you enjoyed it, go to this website. If you didn't get it and get your free copy, that would be amazing. Okay. Somebody said back all the way up. Lexi.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody just said the book is so good. Yeah. Okay. So get that. We'll talk about it. Yeah. The Forbidden Secrets of the Goodie Box, which your father didn't tell you and your mother didn't know. The name says it all. For my CEOs, doormats, and guarded women. So let me say this before we get started on our topic today. Tomorrow, I will have been married 21 years.
Tomorrow's your anniversary.
Tomorrow, I will have been married 21 years. Somebody said, what's the website? ChristopherReid.org. I'll say it again before we get out of here. There you go, ChristopherReid.org. So I've been married 21 years, and I just have to say this about being married 21 years. My wife's my best friend, my homie, my lover. I still look forward to coming home every night. We play foosball every night like friends. We go hard in the paint, and she takes care of me in every way. She buys me Twizzlers, Hershey bars, Pepsis, the things that really tickle my fancy, and I love her. So I'm looking forward to another 21 more years when I'm on a walker in the oxygen tank. Okay? So, and she's wiping my
Yep.
So this topic that is so popular, and I get this a lot, so I even included it in the Why He Married Her Instead of You DVD, which is why we're talking about it. Why do men lie about the smallest things, ladies? That's what you want to know. They say happy anniversary. Thank you. Okay, and here's the way I like to approach things, all right? I don't believe that everything goes into one pot, one category. All right. I believe you got to look at all sides of the situation. So with that being said, ladies, there are some men, we have to be honest, who I call them brutally honest. They don't lie about the smallest things. But here's the thing with these guys. Okay. If you ask him, do I look fat in these jeans? He says, yes, you do. But I love you. And if you ask him, so wait a minute, so do you think that she's prettier than I am? He says, definitely. But I'm in love with you. And so, with that being said, I understand it didn't feel nice while, it was going out there. But do you really want, ladies, here's the question, what you say that you want? Because what I hear you say about this particular guy is he's mean. Why does he have to be so cruel with his honesty? And his question to you, ladies, is do you want honesty or do you want warm and fuzzy with a bow on it? Or maybe you want both. Okay. But you might want, and here's his question, do you only want the truth about the things that you want the truth about? In other words, if it's something dealing with how you look, the appearance and all that, yes, you can bend just a little bit. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Put a little bend on it. But if it's about where were you last night? Who were you with?
That's
okay.
Right.
I need names. I need social security numbers. I need addresses.
I need license plates.
I need fingerprints. Yeah. Okay. Now, ladies, let me say this. Okay. Don't make the mistake. I got to share this with my people. I forgot to do that on Share the Broadcast. Let me send that out real quick. Okay, share it with your followers. Okay, I'm done. All right, so let me say this, ladies. Don't make the mistake, especially if you're my CEO ladies, okay? You got the masculine energy, and you feel like if somebody's challenging you, you got to step to the occasion. Or if you're guarded, okay, which means that there's some hurt there somewhere. Don't make the mistake and think that if he's being honest with you in this way, he's trying to hurt you or harm you, okay? Because in reality, his honesty really may trigger some deep hurt and pain that happened maybe in your childhood. Maybe my daddy said things to me that way. My mama said things to me that way. Or my brothers and sisters were cruel to me. Okay? And so when he tells you certain things in his honesty, it really triggers that thing in you that makes you want to snap back, and you don't like it. Okay? So, but that guy, you confuse him because you say you want honesty oftentimes, and he says, I am honest with you, but you don't like my truth. Okay, so if that is your situation, ladies, okay, that means there's some work that you have to do there. All right, so moving on. I'm not going to be out here all night because I got things to do. All right, so some guys will lie, ladies. I'm just going to be honest with you. Why? Because you ask too many questions.
Oh, my God.
Yes, that's the truth. They say you ask too many questions. Okay, what do you mean by that, Doc? What I mean by that is, ladies, guys hate. Let me say this with all caps. Guys hate to feel interrogated. And let me say this. I know you're asking a lot of questions, and I just can't do this and respond, but Lexi's looking at the questions. So, but yes, guys hate to feel interrogated. Okay. So the guy's logic is this, ladies. He says that, he says, I can, if I tell you the truth, and I feel punished for my honesty, then you know what? It's easier really for me to lie about it.
Oh my God. Well, first of all,
if
the answer that you give is bad, then I'm going to ask more questions. Like if I ask you, did you sleep with her? And then you say, yes, I did. And it took me 15 minutes to get to that. Then I finally get to it. I'm going to ask some more questions. After that, more questions are coming, sir.
Now, let me say this. Don't ladies, in all fairness, okay? Let me say this, all right? If the guy...
That's right, LaTanya. We have the right to ask questions.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying that you don't. Okay, no, I'm not selling that. Okay, because keep in mind, I'm breaking down different types of guys, different types of scenarios. Okay, I'm not talking about the guy who lies all the time and you catch him in a million lies and catch him doing all kind of crazy stuff. Okay, I'm not talking about that guy. I'm talking about the guy that's not the case, but because there's a suspicious nature, or maybe you just feel like maybe who he's hanging out with you don't like, you don't trust, because like the scenario I just gave you, the guy who says, now let me say this for this particular guy, he would like to tell you the truth. He really would. But in his mind he's thinking the last time I told her what was really going on, she had me up till 3 a.m. asking me 1,000,001. Okay, well, so wait a minute, because ladies, you got memories like elephants, okay? Okay, so if he takes out one word or he adds one word to the story that wasn't there the last time, then you're like, wait a minute, that ain't what you said.
That's the truth.
That's not what you said.
That's right.
What you said was...
That's right.
You put a "the" in there, and there was no "the" this time. So I don't understand what's going on.
That's right.
And he's like, oh, my God. He said, he's thinking to himself, see, I know how I'm going to avoid this last time. Because let me tell you something. Because we're talking about the mind of a man, okay? I'm giving you insight. We're going deep, ladies. All right. Because in his mind, okay, and I'm not trying to justify anything, ladies. I'm not saying anything's right. I'm just giving you what it is. Once I put it out there, whatever you want to do with it, you're free to do with it. Hopefully you'll have some dialogue about it with your significant other, and then it'll help you get further along. But in his mind, he says, I know I wasn't doing nothing wrong. I know I was not. God knows my heart. But the minute I tell her I was with Peanut, Ronald, and Fred and them, she gonna say, I know Peanut ain't up to no good, and I know what he does, and it's gonna be a long night, a real long night. And in his mind, his logic, because I'm gonna tell you something, ladies. Let me come on in here close. Get close, because I need you to hear me clear. Okay, a man above all else.
Preach.
Maybe the only other thing that rivals this is food.
Come on.
But what men want is we want peace. Oh, look at your neighbor and just look at him and just don't say nothing because he wants peace. Okay. Yeah. A man wants peace. So a man figures when I'm out here doing whatever I'm doing, trying to make the bread, the money, the bacon, the whole 9 yards. And when I come and I'm with my woman, and we're doing our thing. I don't want all this fussing and fighting and being interrogated. Okay? So if he feels that that might be the case, then he says, okay, do I tell this little white lie and then I can get some sleep tonight? Or do I tell her what really happened and just take the risk, okay, that it might be an all-nighter? He says, I'm going to bed. Okay, and he might tell, because in his mind and in his logic, ladies, now I'm not talking about, we're going to get to that guy, but I'm not talking about he was up to some foolishness and he was doing his thing and he was out there and he was like, but I'm just telling you the logic, okay? So, with that being said, now you got to look at this, ladies, because I'm going to tell you something, and listen to this real close, okay? Just because you ask him a million questions, ladies, does not necessarily mean that you're going to get what you want. You can ask him from Sunday to Friday, okay? And that doesn't mean that you're going to find this thing, because oftentimes, ladies, you must ask yourself, let me go here. Realistically, either you trust him or you don't. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. Either you trust him or you don't. And if you're asking a million of questions, it's not going to necessarily give you that peace that you're seeking, okay? Because sometimes you have to ask yourself, and look at me. Here's my hands, ladies. I don't have no weapons. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. All I come with is truth and honesty. I swear for God. But you got to ask yourself, is there possibly something inside you, okay, something that hasn't been resolved, maybe some deep, I'm frozen. Can everybody see me?
You're not frozen on me.
I'm not?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Ask them if I'm frozen. Well, I'm asking them. Can they hear me? Are they saying you're not frozen? You're not frozen?
You're fine. Keep going.
Okay. All right. So, there could be something, ladies, deep inside you, some unresolved hurt, some pain that hasn't been dealt with. Because I'm going to say this about my guarded sisters. All right. I love you and I love you to death. But if you're guarded, here's your philosophy with life. Okay. You are guilty. I just got to find the proof that I need to substantiate it. I'm going to say it again. You are guilty. I just have to find the proof. Okay.
Wow.
Instead of you're guilty until proven innocent, because with my guarded ladies, you're not innocent. Yeah. Okay. So that means you go into the relationship with the mindset, with the heart of this person is out to get me.
Wow.
Now, on the surface, consciously, you don't necessarily think that, but I'm talking, we're talking, whatever you want to call it, about the heart of the matter. I'm not preaching. We are talking about the heart. I'm talking about the inner man. I'm talking about going real deep. Okay. And a lot of times we don't get there.
Right.
Okay. So if that is your philosophy, then if you ever hear this, ladies, if you ever hear, how come you always think I'm up to something? I mean, every time I do something, everywhere I go, you always think I'm not doing anything. If you hear that, ladies, you might need to check yourself and ask yourself, why is it that I continually feel like there's something going on? Because I'll be honest with you, ladies, you could possibly turn away or damage what could otherwise be a wonderful relationship.
My God.
Okay.
My God.
We got it, and we all got it, but you got to be willing to deal with your stuff. Now, the other one, this is the one that you got, ladies, you're probably talking about. This is the last guy. This guy, I don't care if it's Monday or Tuesday, it could be June or July, it could be spring or winter. He gonna lie.
Yeah.
He just gonna lie. Okay. Now, if you are with this guy, or if you are around this guy, I would suggest to you that you find the nearest exit, okay, and get out of the relationship or the situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, because some of y'all will mess around for 2 and 3 years.
Yes.
In a dead thing, a dead situation, not going anywhere, hoping for something else. That ain't going to happen. Now, I'm going to take this a step further. I'm going to take it one step further because a lot of people just like to stop there. Why does he lie? Yes, Bella. Why does he lie? Yes. Bella wants in on this
My
now.
God.
Okay. The reason, because typically people lie because they either want to avoid something or they want to get to something. Okay. But even at the heart of that, either one of those, at the heart of that, it's really to plug up some kind of void.
My God.
Some deep-seated hurt or pain that you're trying to plug up. Because if I'm trying to get to this woman and I need 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 females, okay, to satisfy me, oftentimes that is because there is some need there that hasn't been dealt with.
Yes.
No man needs no 8 women. First of all, you don't have that much energy, sir.
Nope.
Not to satisfy all of them. Okay. And if I lie to you, it means that I somehow think that you are getting in the way of me getting what I ultimately want. Okay. Yeah. So maybe for him, that particular guy, there's something that happened a long time ago, still possibly in his childhood, whatever, wasn't dealt with. So he feels like he has to add on to himself. Like how Adam and Eve had to add on to their nakedness because what God already gave them wasn't enough.
My God.
So you have to add on more houses, more cars, more women, whatever the case may be. Okay. But at the same time, what that guy really needs, he really needs to know his true identity. And the only way you really can know that, and I'm not getting all super preachy, but you got to know really who God is and who you are in God.
That's right.
That's a whole nother class. But when I'm talking about as far as the women, if you're exposed to this kind of guy, because I'm going to tell you another thing. Now, you may end up with this guy. Why? Because dysfunction attracts dysfunction.
Oh, my Jesus.
Like attracts like.
Jesus.
So your guarded may need his sneakiness.
Say it again.
Your guarded, may need his sneakiness. If you're the doormat, you might need somebody to walk on your back. Won't that preach? Wasn't that good?
That'll preach.
That was. If you're the CEO and you have that very masculine energy, all right, you don't want to be challenged, you may need someone that you feel you need to buck up against to substantiate who you are and your identity in that CEO mindset or energy or that position.
My God.
Because it's very hard for you to deal with maybe a man that you feel is trying to challenge your authority. You oftentimes won't put it that way. And here's another thing as I get ready to wrap this up. And we hear this term a lot in church. And I don't know if we know what it means. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. I don't know. But here's what it means to me. Generational curses. And this is really simple. I'm not going to make it super deep. Generational curses. It just means that the dysfunction that exists in my family hasn't been dealt with.
Whoa. Yes, sir.
So great grandmama and them, that was crazy. It went to great grandma, then grandma, then my mom, and then me. Let me prove this to you. How many of you have ever said, my daddy, my mama, I couldn't stand them. And I told myself, I said, when I get old enough, I'll never be like that. And you turned out just like them.
Yep.
Because let me tell you something. The scripture says, train up a child in the way that they should go. And when they're older, they won't depart from it. That don't just only mean the good stuff. It means all the craziness that you was exposed to. If you're trained with that, once you get older,
my God,
it'll be very hard for you to depart from that as well. So somebody at some point has to say, not another day. Somebody has to have the courage to say it stops here. Because I'm going to tell you one more thing. You could have gone to the $10 line. You could have gone to the $100 line. Okay. And the $1,000 line and still be crazy. Well, if you went to the $1,000 line, maybe you should be healed. I don't know. I just would think maybe the more money that you paid, maybe it should have worked. I don't know. But let me say this. Some things, Jesus said it this way. This one comes out only by prayer and fasting, which means it's going to take a little bit more. So these issues that we're talking about, because it's very easy to just throw out these little topics and just talk about them. But you're going to need somebody to really hold your hand and work with you and help you navigate through this.
That's right.
You're going to need a Harriet Tubman to help get you out of your dysfunction.
Yes, God.
To help you get out of bondage.
Yes.
Or a Moses. Whichever historical character you prefer to go with, that's fine with me. But you're going to need somebody to help you get out of crazy land.
Yes.
And standing up there in the $1 million line, you're just going to be $1 million lighter and still nuts.
Yes.
Okay, so let me say this to encourage you. Whichever situation you're dealing with, let me say this as far as the lying thing goes. If you got a guy that's just lying, listen, get out, run, beat it, because what that individual may need, you can't give them.
Right.
Okay, that's a no-brainer. But if you're with a guy, say he's in the middle, all right, maybe you have a conversation with him. Huh?
You went somewhere, Doc.
What do you mean?
I don't know where you just went.
I'm still here.
All right. I got to find you. I got to get you back.
What do you mean?
How do I get you back on my screen? You just went away.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You told me to do something. Tap it twice. There we go. We're back. I don't know what that was. It just went away. It's back now. Go.
All right, I'm going to be super deep and super spiritual and say, the devil. It was just the devil.
That's it.
Yeah. But what I was just saying is, if you have the guy in the middle that really wants to tell you the truth, but he just flat out scared, or he just, I don't want no drama. Have a conversation with him. Say this, just ladies. Do you want to tell me the truth sometimes? Just tell me. But you're afraid that I'm just going to jump all on your case? And just see what he says. Now, he may think it's a trick. I'm just going to warn you ahead of time. He might, no, I've seen this before. This is a setup. This is a straight setup. But if you can convince him that you're really being honest with him, then he might say, well, there's sometimes I ain't going to front that, I just think that you might not want to hear the truth. You may say you do, but do you really want to hear the truth? Okay, because a lot of guys just think that they're going to have to pay for it. And the first guy, if he's just brutally honest, if you got you a type A type dude that he just say what he means, and he means what he says, he don't mean nothing by it, then you may have to ask yourself, you might be too tenderhearted to be with that dude. You know what I mean? Because a guy that just tells a woman, because I get it. Ladies, y'all want to hear it rap with a bow on it. I don't care what you say. Because if you say, am I fat in these jeans? And he says, yes, you are. Yeah. I just don't know how many women want to hear it like that. Lexi, you may feel something different. You may want to put in on that.
Yeah.
But because I think as a woman, you want to feel special, right? Especially you want to feel special to your man.
Yeah.
But I think, and you can tell me what you think. When a woman says, "Do I look like this?" Is she really asking how she looks, or is she saying, "Just reassure me"?
Right.
Babe, just make me, I'm having a moment right now. Okay, so just, make me feel, just let me know I still mean something to you.
Y'all got to be smart enough to interpret it. Have the Holy Ghost.
Listen, here, I'm going to tell you something. You say the guys have to be smart enough to interpret it. We don't get no manual. Guys you don't meet a woman, or you don't go to no class, growing up talking about everything you wanted to know about a woman. Now, are there books out there? Yes. Are the guys going to read them? Probably not.
Yeah.
No, because when you're watching football, when you're watching a game, the guy's not saying, all right, if we could turn to chapter 7. Last time, fellas, we were together. I think we were trying to understand what it meant when a woman asked if you were fat, if she was fat. And what we did talk about, no,
Whatever.
That's not happening.
Whatever.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying that it wouldn't help. Somebody say help. But I'm not saying that. But ladies, you have to understand, first of all, that we are not, how should I say this, that bright. Let's just start there.
Let's start
there. We mean well. Okay. I think in Steve Harvey's book, he's known for those 3 P's: provide, profess, and protect. Those are 3 things men can do pretty easily. After you get outside the realm of those, it gets very challenging. And ladies, Mars and Venus, very good book. I love it. Love all the books. You can be to a guy very complicated with all the emotions, with all of the ups and downs.
Watch it.
I'm careful. I'm treading lightly. Yeah. I'm bringing my Holy Ghost with me.
Come on.
And we love you and we love you dearly. But sometimes we don't know who we're with that day.
Wow.
You know, you need alter ego names, you know, because sometimes you just as sweet and you just, and sometimes you're like, you know, we don't know who.
That's wrong. That's so
what
wrong.
am I supposed to do right now? Because, I can't say PMS because then somebody else said it, and you don't want to put everything in that bucket, but you don't know. It just feels like a setup, because if you ask me a question, or if I say, hey, listen, babe, it's okay. You know, it's cool. Everything's, no, it's not. Why would you say something like that? You don't know. We don't know, ladies. You know what I mean? So, because you have to be hypersensitive to know, oh, right now she needs support. Oh, she don't want me to fix it. She just wants me to listen. Oh, right now she does actually want me to fix it. Oh, right now she really does mean, do I look nice in this? No, this time she didn't really mean that I look nice in this. She just wants me to listen to her. That's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot for men.
It is. Okay. But in all fairness, let's flip this. Ladies, you say guys can be difficult. You say we can be somewhat challenging. I get that. And here's the thing, because I've always said this to God. I said, you know, Father, I think it's somewhat unfair that you say that the two shall come together and be one. You made us totally different, but yet and still we're supposed to do this in peace and harmony and hair grease and all of that. And it takes a lot of work, not just to understand, you know, the opposite sex, but then you have to understand the uniqueness of the person you're with. Because you can't do what you did with Susie, with Sarah, and think that it's going to work. You know, there's some nuances. So I'm just saying, in all thy getting, get understanding. All right. And I'm so passionate about these relationships because I really love them. And I really think the biggest thing we do miss, and this is the thing that so easily besets us, is we don't go deep enough to understand what's causing us to really do the things we do to sabotage our relationships. So many wonderful relationships that have the potential to be amazing never have a chance, ever. Because that seed that's in us of dysfunction and hurt and pain, at some point, at the most inopportune moment, decides that it wants to come out and show itself and destroy and sabotage the thing that we have. So we have marriages that are destroyed. We have relationships. We have kids that are displaced and all over the place because we don't know. No one has ever taught us how to deal with that. We can speak in tongues. We can pray all night long. We can do all this stuff, and pastors and everybody else under them, marriages, families being destroyed. Why? What are we missing? It's not prayer, you know. And I think the biggest tool that the enemy has is the lack of understanding.
Yeah.
About who we are, you know. So I'm not really sure how I got all the way over there when I started right here. I'm sorry. And I apologize if it was too long.
That's good stuff. Put up your website.
Yeah, it's the website. So if anybody, you do need help, you know, to figure out what in the world is my dysfunction, here's the book, The Forbidden Secrets of the Goodie Box. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. What your father didn't tell you and your mother didn't know. Here's my website. Go there. Break the site if you want to. Let me say this very clearly. If you have problems downloading the book, don't trip. Email me. I'll send it to you. I'll probably send it to you anyway.
It's
just
free.
Because it's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. And I do a free, I love free, 30-minute consultation. If you want to say, hey, Doc, listen, I think I may be nuts. I don't know. Some people have, I'm not sure. You know, let's talk. Let's see what's going on. And
they said, put it back up, please.
Okay, here you go. Tanya, I know you're out there. I thought you would be writing this down for the people. Tanya Diaz, that's my co-host when I'm not with Lexi, when she's too busy. Tanya is your stunt double, and she does an amazing job.
All right.
There you go. We bless God for that free thing. Yeah, free. And so whatever you ask me, many of you have been asking me, seeing me out on these scopes. You've been hitting me up, asking me questions. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking, doing consults or whatever. But this is my thing. And here's my biggest passion. You know, you hear a lot of people talk about relationships and things of that nature. And they don't, to me, really get to what's really going on. I mean, because you can also be so deep, overly deep.
That's right.
It doesn't have any real practical application. You know,
that's right.
How do you and that man and that woman sit there and touch and agree and like survive? How do you make it to 21 years?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that I'm some great somebody. There's been ups, there's been downs. I would imagine if you're together any length of time, you're gonna have. But can people go through?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think it's cool to say, you know, 21 years, that means you've been through some things. That means you like made it through something. You know what I mean? But nowadays, we don't make it through. We make it to and done.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
We make it to, but we don't get through, Jack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, I love it. Every time I say Jack, I think about you making fun of me like I'm from the 1970s.
You are from the 1970s.
Listen here, Jack.
Jive turkey.
You sucker. You jive turkey.
All right, man. We people gotta watch Scandal and.
Yeah, I know. Scandal night. Go do y'all. I'm over Scandal. I can't do it. I dropped off last season.
Wow, you suck.
I know. But it's, hey, let me say this. For those of y'all who don't get the video, you can go, all my videos are on YouTube. You can see all my stuff. I think it's, the Doc Reid. Or if you get on my website, you'll see a video there with Lexi on the front and click, it'll take you to YouTube. Lexi's stuff is on can I say that?
What?
Your Periscope video. Okay, they're on Catch Me. So if you miss, this, you can go to her Catch Me page and see it. I got a Facebook fan page. You can follow it. Wherever you want to get the information from, go catch it. Scandal lost its way. It did lose its way, didn't it? This was good stuff. I'm glad you liked it. And the numbers were good. The numbers were great. Thank you. So get your book, your free freaking book. Tell them it's free, Lexi. They listen to you.
It is free.
Turn it on you and tell them, Reverend.
That's funny. I'm on vocal rest. What's up?
Oh, that's right. She is. She can't say much, y'all. She's on vocal rest.
When is the next session? They're asking. When is the next session?
I doest not controlleth this. Thou is controlleth it.
So we do it once a week, and it's different every week. But Chris, I love you, man.
I love you.
I'm gonna talk to my scopers.
Listen, y'all can just type real quick, real fast, because we'll see it on the. If there are topics that you want,
if there's topics
us to talk about, then because at some point I run out of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all type what you want to see. We'll go back and look at it, and we'll chop it up.
Okay. Well, good night. Good night, Bishop.
All right. God bless you.
Scopers for a second. So it's good to see y'all. I'm so glad that y'all joined us for this relationship scope with Chris. This is the guy that has walked me through, we call it tours of duty, and through all my relationships. Oh, what kind of hair is this? This is my ALX hair that I wear. And it's actually not the deep wave. It's actually the body wave. And after my stylist washed it, I just didn't flat iron it. And this is what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
It's amazing. It's so amazing.
And I'm wearing a closure because I'm working out, so none of my hair is out.
I have no idea what that is.
You have no idea what the closure is?
But I love it.
They said, bless you, Dr. Reid. Your nails look awesome. Oh, thanks, guys.
What's up, Joe?
They said, go into your site now.
Download it.
Yeah.
If you have problems, hit me up. I'll send it to you. I'll send you the Kindle version and the PDF.
Yep, and it's free. Hey, Miss Lexi, Brian Keith Williams was talking about you. Really? What did he say? How's he doing? Tell him I said hi. So I just wanted to say what's up. I know you guys got to watch your shows tonight. It's free 99, honey, to get his book. And what's the name of the book again? What's the name of the book?
The forbidden secrets
of the goodie box,
which your father didn't tell you and your mother did not know.
The forbidden secrets of the goodie box, what your father didn't tell you and your mother didn't know.
Yes.
I'm going to the ALX site. All right, do that. Yes, church hurt, next topic. No, these are all about relationships on this scope. When I put relationship scope with Doc Reid, it's all about...
I so could do so. But at some point we may have to branch out. Relationships are relationships,
But y'all got to call him.
Topics thin out, because hurt is hurt. Pain is pain.
Y'all got to call him for that free 30-minute consultation. Y'all have to call him, because I'm telling you, this dude, he's equipped for this. He's anointed to talk to you about relationships and to tell you if you're going too far, like if you need to pull back a little bit, or, if you're doing too much. He would check me all the time. You doing too much, or you doing too little, or you were wrong about that, Lex. Why'd you go there? Why was that your first line of defense? Why did you say that? I mean, that's Chris. And what I love about him is, as a woman, we have no idea what guys are thinking.
Somebody said, what's his number? What's his hours? Go to the website and then hit me up, and then we take it from there.
Go to his website, ChristopherReid.org. ChristopherReid.org. The whole name, Christopher Reid.
Tanya, will you type that in there for me, please?
Type that in there.
Tanya, will you type that in there for me, please?
Love the last kid. The way you talking, that is so funny.
Right, the hospital. Tanya, will you type that in there for me, please?
That's
Tanya, will you type that in there for me, please? God bless you. I see it. Thank you.
Oh, that is so stupid. So thank y'all for
Oh, and I do events too. I can come out.
Oh, somebody asked
my
that.
ladies' night event.
Somebody asked that earlier. They asked, would you be willing? Like, do you travel?
I travel. I will go to Africa, which is probably where it looks like I'm from anyway. Well, like I just got off the boat, but I will go wherever. Yes, I am trying to teach relationships all over this great land.
Oh, LG.
I will go to Scotland.
Do you talk about being married to pastors? Someone asked.
Well, I can, because here's the thing: when I talk or I teach. I go to the heart of the matter. I deal with relationships. The fundamentals about relationships are relationships. Now, there are situations that are nuanced. Mm-hmm. Yes. So for that situation, whatever the nuances are, yes, I can address that. But at the end of the day, you're still going to work from the outer court to get to the inner court, to the Holy of Holies. So whatever the outer court may be, yeah, we can talk about that. But at the end of the day, we're still trying to get to the heart of the matter. Because when you talk about pastors' wives and things of that nature, there is a lot of hurt. Especially traditionally with pastors' wives. That's why we had to promote the first lady thing, because pastors' wives were so much in the background. She was feeling neglected. It was hurt. Like, every woman wants to be put on some kind of pedestal. She don't want to be an afterthought. So hey, make her first lady, put her up there with everybody else. Life is good, supposedly, but there's still issues. So yeah, my thing is relationships.
He's doing another scope. Like right now, as the camera's on me, and how that's working out.
I'm not trying to do another one.
Yeah. So I can't.
No, I'm just saying. I do whatever. Bar mitzvahs, funerals,
Trust
weddings,
me,
whatever.
He'll
as long
go.
as we're talking about relationships.
As long as he's talking about relationships, he'll go anywhere.
I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, as long as it's relationships.
If it's relationships, he'll do it. He's got a great marriage, great wife, 2 kids. He's faithful. He is the most. I time Chris.
Homebody.
I time Chris. I can time him when he leaves work, and by the time he gets home. And if not, I can tell you where he is. The nigga done stopped over at CVS, or he done stopped at Kroger and stopped and getting something. But he's a real family man. He loves his family. He loves God, and he loves helping you. And he loves talking about relationships. So. Does his wife speak along with him? Absolutely not. No.
Her ministry is
fitness.
Very violent. It's very violent.
Yeah.
She has a very violent ministry. It's called CrossFit. It's called lifting tires.
Yeah.
It's called punishing people physically. I deal with the soulish realm.
Yeah, that's funny.
She deals with the physical.
She deals with the physical fitness. His wife is toe up fit. So that's what's up. All right, I'm out. Bye.
Night.
Love you. So, all right, I want to thank y'all for coming into this scope. Hope you had a good time. We do this once a week. We say that it's, I don't want to keep saying Thursdays at 7:30 and something happens and and he makes coaching fun. Let me tell you something. He's the best free resource that you can use. If he says do a third, because he charges people for this. He charges people for this, and as he should. I mean, he sounds funny, but he charges people for his coaching. But he's willing to give people in my scope 30 minutes free consultation. I say take it. That's what I say. Talk to him. Talk to him about your issues if you have them. If you have questions or issues, like you're dating somebody, or whatever the case may be. It was a blessing, Lexi. Thank you. Oh, absolutely. Thanks. I like this. It's great. Lots of knowledge. Oh, trust me. You haven't even scratched the surface of what that guy can talk about. He's not free. He's worth every penny. No, I'm saying he does charge people, but for 30 minutes, it's free. I haven't lied since 2001. 100% Hutch. That's what's up. That's what's up. Are you in a relationship, Hutch? Are you in a relationship? Because you say you haven't lied, so are you alone? Maybe you haven't lied because you by yourself and you don't have to lie. But are you in a relationship? 12 years married. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad to hear that. All my congregation needs help. Well, Dr. J, you need to bring him in. You need to bring Chris in for real. ChristopherReid.org. Bring him in. That's what you got to do. Because he will tear a church up. Because you know that word. He walk all through the book. You know that Bible. So, all right. If this has helped you, give me some hearts. If this has helped you. 13 years married. And this is still good stuff. That's what's up. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's what's up for real, for real.